Okay, hello everyone. How are you doing? Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hopefully you're doing well today. I am doing well. And I'm coming back from a day away. A day away for not a good reason, obviously. It's not like I took a day off because I wanted to or anything like that. Very much an unscheduled day away from streaming. Originally, I had planned to be streaming every single day this weekend as usual. But unfortunately, sometimes circumstances do not, they conspire against us. Let's put it that way. They make it so that we cannot do what we want to do on the weekends, right? I had originally planned on playing Sonic 06 all weekend and maybe having an extra day on Monday to do something else. Didn't work out that way because Leanna, my girlfriend, who lives with me, is sick. She got sick this past week, more than likely from work. She has a part-time job that she works at around, 4 to 5 times a week. And, it is what it is. It's certainly not the best job in the world, but at the same time, it makes money. And that's the whole point of part-time jobs. They make money. You don't do them because you love them. You do them because you need the money. And she got sick this past week, and it's one of those chest colds. So it's not one of those normal colds where you go through all those different symptoms, like, oh no, first I got a sore throat, then I get the runny nose, then I get the congestion and the cough. No, she went straight to the cough. Like, that was the first thing that happened, is she started coughing about midweek last week. And, of course, she starts coughing. Oh, I'm just going to, I'll fight this off. It's not a big deal. Within 2 days of her coughing, she had incredibly uncontrollable cough. Which she did everything. Hot tea, lozenges for the throat, Robitussin, Mucinex, everything you could possibly think of. And, of course, nothing really works, because the bottom line is, which a lot of people may not realize this, none of the medications that you can actually take for a cough actually stop the cough. In fact, if you actually look at the medications for a cough, they're actually meant to make you cough more. I'm not kidding. Like, I've known this since I was a kid, and I read into all these medications. Anything you take for a cough is to relieve congestion by letting you cough easier. So, if you're choking and you can't stop choking, go ahead and take that Robitussin so you can choke more. Now, I think the reasoning here is that, okay, if you take the medicine, it'll allow you to have more productive coughs, meaning whatever's forcing you to cough will be removed, and therefore it'll stop you from coughing. The problem is, if you're sick, it just comes right back within a couple minutes. So, all of these over-the-counter drugs, how stupid are they, that they're meant to actually make you cough more instead of actually getting rid of the problem, which is the excess of you-know-what that makes you cough? I don't get it. But then again, if we could easily just make that go away, no one would buy these over-the-counter medicines, and the entire industry would probably lose billions of dollars. So, gee, I wonder why they never invented the drug that actually stops you from coughing. Pretty stupid. So anyway, I digress, but basically Leanna's been getting worse and worse, alright? And Friday night, she's trying to sleep, and could not even lay down in bed without choking every minute or so. So we were up till about 5:30 in the morning with her choking and choking and choking, not being able to stop, and we basically got no sleep. What are you going to do when one person in the bed is constantly choking all night? There's nothing you could do. How are you going to sleep? You're just not going to. So we finally did, pass out and got a whopping 3 to 4 hours, just not even, of solid sleep. We both woke up in the morning, felt like complete shit. Now, luckily, Leanna didn't have to work yesterday. It was one of her days off, so I said, you know what? Neither of us slept. We feel like shit now because of it. Let's just sleep in. Let's relax. And just, try to recuperate as much as we can. We need it anyway at this point. So we did. So I canceled yesterday's stream. We slept in till I'd say probably mid-afternoon time. When we woke up, she felt a little better. And unfortunately, we had to do errands because Saturday is our day when normally we go out and we have dinner, but then we do a bunch of errands afterward. And we had a lot of shopping to do this weekend. In particular, we were out of a lot of stuff, and I offered to go do it myself, but Leanna was like, no, no, I'll come with you. Even though I told her not to. I said, no, you should stay home. No, I'll come with you. All right. And it was all right. I mean, she kept choking, but, at least it wasn't so bad that she was, like, dying or whatever. The one bummer is that we had already bought tickets to see Suicide Squad yesterday, ahead of time, way ahead of time, weeks ahead of time, and we didn't get to see it. How are you going to go to the movies when one person is choking every 2 minutes, loud, audible coughs? I don't think people in the movie theater would have appreciated it, and she probably wouldn't have been able to enjoy the movie. So, we didn't get to see Suicide Squad, but they got our money. So they can obviously add our money to their profits, which, quite honestly, since we didn't get to see the movie, it's kind of a ripoff that you still can't, seriously, you still can't buy tickets, and then if you can't go, there's no refunds, which is kind of ridiculous in my opinion, but then again, you go to a theme park, there's no refunds, you go to a lot of events, there's no refunds. They're considered live events, right? I certainly think that probably, within a little bit here, we're probably going to see these movies go away from theaters, and everything's going to be digital at home from now on. I really get that feeling, being the fact that everything is on demand, right? You can get these movies digitally instantly. Why are we going to a movie theater to see them to begin with? A lot of people have home theaters now. A lot of people have things that make it, they make it just as good as if you're in the theater, only you don't have to go to the physical theater. If that movie was new and we could see it at home, then we would have watched it. It is what it is. And, I really wanted to see this movie because this is a movie that I've been very critical of all the trailers, and we've heard all this news about it being reshot a million times. And I really wanted to see this movie to see if they were going to do a good job, because honestly, from the trailers, I thought it looked like shit. But a lot of people, it's funny, because mainstream critics say the movie sucks. So many people have gone out and claimed that it's great. But it's funny because the people who I've heard say it's great are the people who've been championing this movie and fanboying over the trailers for the past year and a half. So obviously they're going to say it's great. So I would have liked to have seen it for myself and judge, but I can't. So it is what it is. It sucks. It was a shitty day. It's in the past. Unfortunately, it's not over because Leanna, again, last night, choking. I think last night we got to bed around 4:30 instead of 5:30. So I probably got about maybe 4 to 5 hours of sleep last night. So I'm not going to lie to everyone. I'm tired today. I would hope that she gets better in the next few days so that I can actually get a fucking good night's sleep. We both need one for sure. So we'll see. We shall see what happens. Hopefully she feels better. Unfortunately, she's at work today. She had to go to work, and she just texted me about 20 minutes ago saying her voice is shot, nothing makes her throat hurt less, and it hurts, and she doesn't feel good. It sucks. There's nothing you can do about it, right? So anyway, that's what happened yesterday. That's why I wasn't around. Now here's the plan, because now obviously everything had to get shuffled and shifted and mixed around. Alright? Today we're doing, obviously, Sonic 06, Sonic 2006, and I'm going to leave it to the stream chat to tell me who I should play with today, because we're 70% through both Sonic and Silver's stories, so definitely I could finish them up today. And then I'm about 40% through Shadow's story. So depending on who I pick, I definitely could finish a story today. I might finish multiple stories depending on who I pick, I don't know. We'll have to see. We should have to see and go from there. Alright, we'll see. I'll leave it to the stream chat. It looks like tomorrow I'll be finishing the game. From what everyone's saying, I'm pretty much near the end game of Sonic and Silver. And, I should finish it up tomorrow. I should be able to finish it up. Now, if I do, what I'd like to actually do is a special video for KO Gaming. Kind of an actual... almost like not really a retrospective because this is the first time I've played it, but just a a discussion on the game that is Sonic 06. The fact that the game does so many things well, and like it actually, if it were a fully developed game, that I probably would have been a masterpiece. The fact that it wasn't allowed to be a fully developed game, that Sega rushed it out for Sonic's anniversary for a stupid, Christmas release. The fact that the game testers told them that the game was unfinished and not playable, and they fired them. A lot of things to be discussed about the game. Being that things I really like, and I think would have worked well if the game weren't just an unfinished piece of crap. At least I could say this: Sonic 06 is a game that while you're playing, even though it's terrible, it's funny as shit. So it allows it to be an enjoyable experience. Even though I know the game is broken as hell, I'm having fun playing it. And that's what's important, There's some games that are so bad that you just don't ever want to play them. You know what I mean? They're just such crap. This game is the opposite. It's so bad you have to play it to experience how silly it is. So, yeah, I might be doing a video for KO Gaming on this tomorrow night. We'll see. We'll see how it goes, alright? Now, a lot of people have been asking me, what's Phil going to do with this week's new release, No Man's Sky? Because it comes out on Tuesday, and is Phil playing it, and how's he going to be covering it? Well, I actually announced this last night on my schedule that I put up on Twitter at They Call Me DSP. But I'm going to be doing a full day, an absolute full day of No Man's Sky. It'll be a first stream of 3 to 3.5 hours, and then a second stream of around 2 hours. So I'll be getting a good 5 solid hours of gameplay in of No Man's Sky on Tuesday. And then No Man's Sky will continue all week, and I'll balance it out with something else. So you may say, oh, well, no midnight release? No midnight release. I don't feel the need to rush out and play it at midnight. I've heard that the game is incredibly long, and, it's incredibly long. It's going to be a fun experience, and it should be pretty good. It should be fun. It should be interesting. Starting this Tuesday, alright? So we'll see. It's supposed to be a unique experience, a game not like any other game. We'll find out firsthand, and we'll see how long can a game like that actually keep up, interest and viewership and all of that. I don't know. We'll see. I never played a galaxy exploration game like this before with progressive, what do they call it? Progressive generation of worlds where everything's randomized and stuff. So, we'll see. So that's the new release. But then, after a couple days of doing that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to balance No Man's Sky with another playthrough. Now, a lot of people have been, talking about the options that I have presented. There's 3 games that I've presented as options. Number 1, Scarface. Number 2, Godfather 2. And number 3, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, one of the more updated versions of the game, not the original PS2 version. So, 3 games, all completely different reasons I think people would like, alright? I think that I think that for different reasons, each game would be a unique playthrough. Scarface, because I've never played it, and people have said it's actually one of the best sandbox-style games ever made, and that it doesn't get a lot of praise because it was a small-time release when it came out, and in fact, a lot of copies of the game are kind of rare. Like, the Xbox version is actually hard to get your hands on. Excuse me. Godfather 2, because I actually started a playthrough of that game back in 2009 on Dark Side Phil, my original YouTube channel, but I had to stop doing it after about 2 days, because after 2 sessions, it was getting flagged for nudity and violation of YouTube community guidelines, even though it was a fucking video game with virtual girls who didn't look realistic at all. It was laughable. It was a joke. But YouTube back then also was kind of different, and they flagged a ton of stuff that really didn't deserve to be flagged. So, in this day and age, I wouldn't need to do anything. I wouldn't have to censor it or anything anymore. I could just play it, and YouTube doesn't really care about that stuff anymore when it comes to video games, so I should be able to do a nice playthrough of it and actually, play through it and finish it this time. And then, of course, you've got San Andreas. A lot of people think that it's a fun game, that it is one of my best playthroughs of all time. Some people told me that this week, that my original San Andreas playthrough from 4 years ago was my best playthrough, although I disagree. I actually think that of all the playthroughs I did that summer, if you remember, the summer of 2012, I did 3 Grand Theft Auto playthroughs. I did Grand Theft Auto 3, Grand Theft Auto Vice City, and Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. I think San Andreas was the worst one because it was the third one that I had played back-to-back, so by then I had been so burnt out on Grand Theft Auto that I really didn't take the time to do a lot of the stuff that normally I think would have made the game a better playthrough. I was rushing through a lot of it. I ended up cheating, to beat it. And I was just so burnt out by the end of the playthrough that I didn't really care about it anymore, quite honestly. I just wanted to get it done with. I was running out of time because I knew there were new games that were going to be coming out. I was like, I just got to finish this before the new stuff comes out. I have to do whatever I can to finish it. So, in that regard, I don't really feel that it was the best playthrough. I think that it was more of a rushed playthrough, but a lot of people seem to have liked it. There's various versions of San Andreas. There's a new version that was made for Xbox 360 that apparently has the best graphics but new bugs. There's a version that came out for PS4 that apparently has trophy support and is more true to the original, but doesn't have as good graphics. I don't know. People seem to be torn on what I should be playing this week to balance with No Man's Sky. And by the way, whatever I play this week will be balanced with No Man's Sky all through next week. Because there's basically 2 weeks where No Man's Sky is the only new release. So it's the perfect opportunity for me to do this. Because once we head into the week of August 23rd is huge. 2 giant releases, plus there's indie releases. And there's just new releases like crazy the final 2 weeks of August to head into the end of the month. So, in that regard, there's not much to be said. It's just, I want to get stuff done before then. So, I think it would be perfect. Balance the new game, No Man's Sky, which everyone's saying is incredibly long, with one of these other playthroughs and just go between the two. And I think that should keep people, entertained. So, that's the plan, ladies and gents. I actually just got a text that apparently one of the copies of San Andreas that I purchased and I believe Scarface are actually arriving today. Actually, no, it's not Scarface. Godfather 2 is coming today. So, alright, so anyway, that's the plan for the next week. I hope that you'll come around and check out all the stuff that I'm doing during the course of the week. Already, this August has been way better, in my opinion, than July. Just because we've already had Batman, we've had an expansion for Overwatch, Sonic 06. Already there's fun stuff going on that I think is way better than what I was able to do in July, simply because July was such a slow month. This will be a lot better, overall, I think. A lot better. Alright, what else? Well, not much else. There's not much else to talk about, so I think what I'm going to do is my usual plugs, and then we'll get started, alright, with my Sonic 06 gameplay. And yes, there will be face cam and everything. Nothing's going to change. The playthrough's going to continue on as it's been, alright? So, for the plugs, obviously, @TheyCallMeDSP on Twitter. Very important that you follow me there so that you get daily live schedule updates at night. I usually update my schedule so you know what's coming out the next day. In fact, last night I fully updated the schedule for the week, which is a good, good thing because I hadn't had a definitive schedule until last night. All right. KO Gaming, obviously, lots of stuff going on over there. I've been doing, putting a lot of effort into the channel, trying to put out content for everyone over there. But countdowns. I have my first official countdown with the top 10 worst things about modern gaming. I did a review of the first episode of Batman the Telltale series this past week. Recently, I've done videos on my opinions on things like We Happy Few's early alpha, the game preview on Xbox One. So there's a lot of stuff over there. Please check it out. And like I said, this week there's going to probably be a video on Sonic 06, and there'll probably be a video on No Man's Sky. So there'll be a lot of stuff going on. So check that out, youtube.com/KOGaming1. Patreon, I announced my Patreon goals for the month a couple days ago. Just to reiterate, the goal for this month, if we hit the funding level, is that we will be doing one of these 3 playthroughs. It'll be in the hands of the patrons who pledge $5 or more by the end of this month, August 31st, to determine if I'll be playing Jak 3 HD, Banjo-Kazooie HD, or Crash Bandicoot 3 Warped. That will be a playthrough, a full playthrough, by the way. Promising a full playthrough, not just a marathon or a certain amount of gameplay, but a full playthrough of whatever game wins the polling. And that will take place around mid-September. There's actually a week in September where there's nothing going on, and I'm going to balance that with the other stuff that's happening at that time, okay? So whatever wins, wins, but we have to hit the funding goal. And right now, I think I checked about a day ago, we're around $200 under the funding goal, which is not a lot when you really think about it, especially if you get 20 people who pledge, like, you know, $5 to $10. You get a few people who maybe go for the bigger pledge. The biggest pledge level, or perk level, excuse me, is $50 to get a private Q&A video made. It's very possible by the end of this month that we could hit this goal. You know, I've hit it every month except last month. So hopefully the changes that I made this month, number one, picking 3 definitive games to be voted upon. Number 2, promising a full playthrough. Hopefully this will motivate people to pledge who did not pledge last month. All right. So please consider pledging. Not only do you contribute to this monthly goal, but you get personal perks like text or verbal thank yous in my videos, getting your question answered on my bi-monthly Q&A show, Ask the King. You can even, you know, get a private Q&A video made, as I mentioned. You know, the ability to vote on stuff like this. There's tons of advantages to pledging to my Patreon, so please do. It allows me to continue to do this full time. If I didn't have Patreon, I would not be able to do this as a job. I just wouldn't. YouTube ad revenues have plummeted in the past several years, and basically this is what allowed me to pick up for that, okay? Alright, last but not least, my girlfriend Leanna has her own business called The Black Currant, where she makes handmade glycerin soaps and wax tart melts. Very popular. She's had hundreds of orders shipped internationally and, you know, obviously domestically. Nothing but positive feedback. If you check it out for yourself, you'll see tons of last feedback. Alright? What else? Well, I don't really mention this, but I haven't mentioned this in a while, but Loot Crate. Loot Crate has upgraded my discount code that I've been using for about a year now to allow people to get a discount on any kind of Loot Crate subscription. It used to just work on the regular Loot Crate box. Now it works on anything. Loot Anime, Loot Gaming, whatever you'd like to possibly try on Loot Crate. You can save 10% by using my discount code. The discount code is SAVEME10DSP. SAVEME10DSP. And this is actually the first time that I'm talking about it. For the next couple of months, my Loot Crate unboxings will be very different. And what I mean by that is that I will not be doing the standard Loot Crates. This month, excuse me, I'm distracted because there's a plane flying over my house really loudly. This month, I'm actually going to be unboxing a Loot Anime crate. Loot Anime. Yeah, which I have not even seen one yet, so this will be very interesting to open up a Loot Anime crate and see what's inside of those. And it looks like next month, I'll be unboxing a Loot Gaming crate. So, there you go. 2 completely different things that I have not been doing. And those will be, you know, different for a couple months there. We'll be able to see what those crates are all about, and if people like those over the regular Loot Crate, you know, you could still use my discount code. So, yeah, definitely check the description of my videos or my streams. And you could get that, you see the link there to the discount code if you didn't just hear it now. But feel free to use it. Any new subscription, save 10%. Alrighty then. Alright, it is time to begin, ladies and gents, with Sonic 2006 continuing. I hope that you enjoy it, and we will see. Alright, thank you everyone. Back into the hilarity. Thanks for being patient, putting up with the gratuitous plugs as usual. And now, let us resume the epic journey. Sonic 2006, one of the most broken games ever. It begins.